let me tell you the good news in constraints. So there's a paradoxical observation I'm making here, that constraints can be liberating. What does that mean? Well, when you have no constraints, when you're a big company and you have millions of dollars available to you in marketing, I believe you get lazy. You get lazy and you resort to what I would call conventional approaches. And the conventional approach is that I do a big media campaign, I have a big budget, I think about my traditional channels for marketing communication, which includes my, paid search or even traditional media, email, direct mail, and so on. So this is sort of, and more than the channels, even the thinking is fairly conventional. If you are if you have lots of money. What I mean by conventional thinking is a big campaign, long lead time, and sort of a lack of really hard accountability on ROI and spending. Now, when I impose constraints on you, when you are imposing constraints on yourself, when you have very limited money, you know what you do? You spend it smarter. You spend it smarter. You're actually forced to be innovative. You're forced to think like a hacker, like a guerrilla, and come up with creative ways of using your limited marketing spending and the dollar that you have available to make those dollars go further, right? So because ultimately the buck stops with you, and you want to really maximize ROI. So I think it's in some sense it's actually the creativity that I see coming out of early stage startups is much greater than what I see coming out of big companies, because necessity is the mother of invention, and you really are forced to come up with creative ways. To give you a little example outside of marketing, we'll talk about marketing, but just to give you a little bit of an example, that there's a startup company I'm working with right now. The company is called Avanza, and they're just about 3 guys, and they're a very early stage startup. Actually, it came out of university. It came out of Northwestern. Yeah, so it's a faculty member and a PhD student who's working on the startup, and they do basically they've created a platform that they build bots for cryptocurrency trading. So now they wanted to create a video to promote their company and to put on their website. And so how would you have done this if you're a big company? You would have hired an agency, and the agency would have come up with some creative briefs, and then you would have gotten an RFP done with them. You would ask them for bids, and then they would have created some initial prototypes, and then fine-tuned it, and the whole process, you could easily run you $250,000. So what the Avanza folks did is they went on a crowdsourcing on a website called Fiverr, and some of you might know about Fiverr. It's Fiverr. So on Fiverr, you have a bunch of creative people who offer their services for a very low fee. So at a cost of $50, they got a guy to do a video, a 3-minute video with animations, and then they got somebody else for another $50 to do a voiceover over on the animation. And when I looked at the video that they produced, it's a 3-minute video with animation and voiceover. It looks like almost, in 80 to 90% of what you'd see in a professional video. But it took them 2 days or 3 days and $100. So that's what I'm trying to talk about, sort of hacker thinking to market yourself creatively.